First of all, can I just say what a I think the bottom line is that I wasn't what they were looking for. I wasn't a model.
I was really scared to ever ask you about this.
We were afraid of stepping out of line. We didn't want to get fired. Nattie was alive and well that night. When it comes to when the bell rings, everybody can go themselves. Make sure you use a little bleep when this airs.
Welcome everyone to Ring the Belle. This is Diaz, and I'm here with the unstoppable, legendary Natalya!
Well, you were almost right on the introduction. It's Nattie, but...
It's a Nattie today. The low-key, self-proclaimed low-key legend. Even though you were high-key in my book, so...
Thank you. It's so good to see you.
I know.
At the Cauliflower Alley Club. I need some coffee, guys. I really need some coffee.
You've had some busy weekend.
Well,
oh my
yesterday
God.
I wrestled Becky for the IC title, and so then 2 days before that I wrestled in a title match in Mexico. So it's been busy.
Triple Mania, oh my God.
Triple Mania was so fun.
We've been trying to do this for a while, but I feel like this is the perfect opportunity because you've been reinventing yourself lately, but also your book's coming out.
Yes, I know. And I gave you a sneak peek at the book.
Yes. I was tearing up, laughing, all the emotions.
Yes. I mean, I'm so excited for people to read the book. You're going to feel everything. You're going to laugh 1 minute, you're going to cry the next.
To commemorate this book release, we're going to do top 5 fan-voted moments of Natalya.
Okay,
Are you
perfect.
ready for it? All right, let's start with the first moment. It is such an iconic match.
I love this match. I loved this match for so many reasons. I loved my rivalry with Michelle McCool and Layla. We had so much fun. Of course, teaming with Beth Phoenix was like one of the highlights of my career.
Yeah.
And Michelle, Layla, myself, and Beth, we just loved this moment where we could just be more. We could do more. I would still love to see Cool do something again in WWE. Although, I mean, listen, Michelle and I could have a hell of a singles match.
For sure,
Yeah, so I'm like, watching this old footage, I'm like, listen, Michelle, get your boots. Get your wrestling boots because I'm ready to take you on.
Yeah. You already talked about this multiple times, but I love the story how like the table was supposed to break, but it didn't, which ended up being this beautiful, spectacular moment.
Yes.
The wrestling god's real.
Yeah, and when the table didn't break, I had to like dive off the top rope onto the table, and I was like a flying squirrel. Oh, so special. This is one of my favorite matches of my career. I write about this match in the book. And it's funny because when I first came to WWE, Michelle was my first rivalry. And so I write about that too. Like, we were both fighting for the same thing, but like our relationship really grew.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't say that we were arch enemies when we first started working together, but like by the time we got to this match, and then of course, like right before this, I won the Divas Championship.
Right.
She was a huge component for me to actually like be able to break this ground and actually do more.
Got it.
So, and I think she's somebody that doesn't get enough credit.
Your name just is synonymous with the first ever. From the first ever tables match, Rumble, Money in the Bank, Saudi Arabia match. Like, what does that mean that like WWE is trusting you to be on this history-making moment?
I just have such a great relationship with, listen, WWE is my home. It's where I've built so many incredible, amazing moments, and I think it is about trust, though. They know that I'm going to deliver, and I just feel like the women have come such a long way, and like Vince McMahon gave me so many opportunities. Triple H, we're working on some opportunities right now, which is really exciting, and like if it wasn't for Triple H, I wouldn't be able to do all this stuff outside of WWE.
Right.
Which I said to him the other day at Triple Mania. I walked up to him and I got emotional, and I was like, thank you so much for letting me be Nattie. I needed to be Nattie, and I still want to. I want to do a lot more with Nattie. But I said to him, I was like, I never would have been able to do that outside of WWE had he not given me that permission to do that.
The Saudi Arabia match, until it actually happened, there were like some talks about it, but like nobody knew that was coming.
Well, the Saudi Arabia match, I said to Vince McMahon, when WWE first started doing stuff in Saudi Arabia, I said to Vince, it was after a match, I said to Vince, I really want to go. I want to be the first woman to wrestle in Saudi Arabia. Vince made it happen. And he, I think Vince really wanted women to wrestle there too, and he really wanted us to have more visibility there.
Okay.
To be able to do what we love. And so I will always be so grateful to Vince for that moment, because he fought for the women to have more visibility in Saudi Arabia. He had to fight.
Wow.
He really had to fight. So look at us now.
I love this Divas Championship reign, but one thing I was confused about was that the way you lost it. Eve Torres, I love Eve Torres, by the way. Eve Torres
I love Eve Torres.
And then took it away without much follow-up storyline. I was so like, wait,
Well,
what happened?
Listen, when you're as beautiful and smart and funny and talented as Eve,
That's
you can
true.
do whatever the hell you want. So Eve beat me for the title, and the thing about Eve is that she's just such an incredible person that I could never not like her. So Eve, I hope you enjoyed that Divas Championship. We got to pick up where we left off.
Yes, where is Eve Torres? Oh my god. Let's go to the second moment. It is, of course,
The night that I won the title.
yes.
Wow. Oh, I love that outfit. I love that outfit. And by the way, Naomi's my favorite. She might be my favorite opponent.
Wow.
She was just so fun to wrestle. I love her. I love her so much. You read about this in the book. The night that I found out that I won the title, Naomi was so happy for me because, even though she was losing the title,
Right.
she still, she celebrated me.
Oh.
She's just always been so supportive of me. She's a sister to me. She's a sister for life.
Rewatching this match after reading your book, it just hits differently because we get to learn about your journey to WWE.
This looks so. I love that match. And I wanted my dad to be front row for this match, but my dad wasn't well at this time. But I was the one person that I was looking out in the crowd, and I was like, I wish you could have been there.
I think a lot of people might think that because of your last name, you're shoo-in for a job at
Yes.
WWE, you're shoo-in for a championship reign, but that was not the case at all, especially reading your book.
No, and that's the thing is that that's the one thing I'm excited about for people to read is that it's not a pity party, but I think it was challenging for me to get hired for many different reasons.
Right.
My family had conflict with WWE. My uncle had died in WWE. My other uncle had this conflict with Vince. My dad was struggling with all sorts of different issues, and I think the bottom line is that I wasn't what they were looking for. I wasn't a model. I was a wrestler, and I'm so grateful that I am a wrestler because now it's all paid off. So, I always say to people that train with me in my dungeon, the brick walls are there for a reason. They're there to keep the ones that don't want it badly enough. They're there to keep them out.
Right.
And so I'm so happy I kept fighting.
Your book just goes through your entire journey, which is so beautiful, but your time in Japan, I feel like it doesn't get talked about enough.
I love that. I love that. Here's the thing about Becky. First of all, can I just say what a bitch Becky is? Becky is such a bitch. She's such a little bitch. But I will say that we have been on a journey together for over 20 years. And there's nobody in our division that knows me the way that Becky knows me. Because I met her in Canada at it was called Supergirls. It was we were on that show. She was on my first tour of Japan. She was on the tour where I blew out my ACL. I wrestled 12 matches with a torn ACL, and
That is wild.
Becky was on the tour. So we've been up and down the road together, and so while I respect the hell out of Becky, I also think that she is an egotistical, spoiled, rotten little bitch.
Let's go to the third moment. It is...
Oh my god, I hated those hair extensions. Summer Rae. Summer Rae comes up to my front door, slaps me across the face. I mean, first of all, I want to know what the hell I'm wearing. And why I didn't brush my hair that day, but that was iconic.
It was so iconic.
That was Summer showing up at my front door was an iconic moment that I will never forget.
I think Total Divas was so interesting because people got to see a different side of you.
Yeah.
It's a couple years before, you were in the Divas of Doom storyline, and you were the
Yeah.
wrestler going against
Yeah,
the
and then I went in this Diva show.
You're right.
Well, and I was picked to do that show for a certain reason. You guys have to read the book, but there was a reason that one person picked me to be on that show. No spoilers.
No spoilers.
You got to read the book, but
It's
there's
juicy.
It's very juicy.
I think it would be such a unique perspective from you looking at that controversial pipe bombshell promo. Because
Yes.
you're the respected wrestler.
I know. Well, I mean, the thing is that I will say AJ's pipe bomb promo, it was something that was needed. We needed her to cut that promo. Granted, I know that at the time it was all very everybody's emotions were very heightened, but I give her credit for having the courage to go out there and say a lot of the stuff that some of us girls, myself included, I didn't have the balls to go out there and basically call the company out and say, hey, we need more. But the Bellas did, AJ did, Paige did. When Give Divas a Chance was trending, they were defiant in a sense that they were like, we need more. And it's scary because if I think back then we were afraid of stepping out of line. We didn't want to get fired.
Right.
You don't want to tweet something and then the next day you're in trouble. But AJ, Paige, the Bellas, I remember them really being outspoken about the girls, need more. And of course that got Give Divas a Chance trending, and the rest is history.
You know, what's really great about Total Divas is that we all got to fall in love with your family.
Yes.
The best part of Total Divas, I think, is your family. Because
Thank you.
What a beautiful family.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we got to enjoy so many moments with you guys. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. What do you think is your favorite moment? Because like, people are talking about that, the slowest car accident, the part where you threw Lana's luggage
in the ocean. My favorite moment on Total Divas, I mean, when Lana threw a shot put through the windshield of my car.
Oh my God.
I mean, or there was Ronda Rousey's dog that was sniffing peanut butter on my upper thigh.
So many good moments. So many good moments. Let's move to the fourth moment. It is your match against Nikki Bella.
Oh, I love this match.
Fouls count out anywhere.
Love this. I love working with Nikki. I love Nikki. We're really close friends. She's one of my best friends. And this match was so much fun. I remember feeling so excited. I love this match. I love this match.
You could tell that you're very excited.
Yay! I love it.
And even the segment that came beforehand made it so like legendary because like, bitch.
Yeah. And I mean, I really love the word bitch.
Okay, let's talk about that because you own the word bitch in WWE.
Yeah,
right?
it's pretty much mine, okay?
Did WWE ever was like, oh, can you tone down a little bit, call it like witch?
Witch!
Maybe.
I know. Well, it's like, I don't know what it is, but ever since I've been in this Nattie era, I just, I gotta like unleash. Sometimes it feels better just dropping a few, F-bombs. Nikki, by the way, I would not want to get in a dark alley with her for real because she's really tough.
You're a queen of memes. Everyone loves sharing your memes. And you're so like naturally funny.
Thank you.
How do you feel about that?
No, I like having fun.
Okay.
Life is meant to be lived. And I also like making fun of myself. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta enjoy life.
But we'll see the reinvention of Nattie too, because we're just gonna talk about that. The last moment, let's go to.
Oh, I loved working with Tamina.
Team not Tamina.
Yeah, I loved working with Tamina. When she was in our locker room, she was one of the most giving, selfless, amazing people to work with. And Tamina does not get enough credit she was in a lot of great matches. I loved working against her. I loved working with her. And she is one of the nicest, most special humans that I've ever known. And I would fight alongside her any day of the week, whenever she wants. I would love to see Tamina back in WWE.
That's so heartwarming because you could kind of tell that you guys have so much love and respect for each other.
I love her.
That made this moment so emotional for all the fans. Yeah.
She didn't get enough credit. I mean, she was there in WWE for a long time, but she never wanted to I felt that she never wanted to be in the spotlight as much as she wanted to be there for the girls in the locker room. And I think that's so commendable. She loved being she was the true mama bear of the locker room.
You keep reinventing yourself. Nattie! Oh, I was actually scared. I was scared watching your Triple Mania match because I was like, oh my God, Nattie!
I had a little talk with Undertaker right before I went out. When Undertaker asks you to do something, you do it. I'm not going to say what he asked, but I made sure that Nattie was alive and well that night. I will say Taker was a big inspiration for me to really just unleash, and I'm happy that Triple H and Taker and Shawn and the powers that be, everybody was there to like really see that Nattie character come to life.
And how did you choose to go to this different character, Nattie?
Well, I think everybody has two different sides. First of all, I'm a Gemini. So Geminis have two different personalities. The thing about Natalya is that she's gonna be a team player. She's safe. She wants to help everybody. She wants to elevate. And she survived. She survived a lot. She survived an era where we were, women's wrestling wasn't always encouraged. But she did whatever she had to do to survive. Nattie, I have no sympathy for the weak. And I'm like a vigilante.
Yeah, for sure.
I really don't. When it comes to when the bell rings, everybody can go themselves. Make sure you use a little bleep when this airs. Fabi, Apache, she is so respected in Mexico. You can feel that she's got the soul of a fighter, and I wanted to remind her of who I am.
Yeah.
And she learned. She learned.
And you showed the world that too.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so exciting time for you to read your book. Because I texted you because I was like literally crying texting you because this is such a sweet story.
Thank you.
Even like The Rock wrote the most beautiful.
Brett wrote the introduction to my book because I have to start my book with his words. What Brett wrote, I have to start. The book everybody has to read what he wrote first because it's so powerful. So I really wanted Brett to do the introduction, and then I wanted Rock to do the foreword right after that because they both mean a lot to me. But Rock, his dad was a wrestler. His grandmother was a promoter. My grandfather was a promoter. My dad was a wrestler. And of course, he's a third-generation superstar. He's the first third-generation superstar in WWE, so we had so many major parallels.
Right.
Dwayne was just so supportive of helping me. He called me up and he was like, he asked me some questions about my book. And he said, hey, I want to ask you, what does legacy mean to you? Because when he was writing his foreword, he wanted to make sure, he had these questions for me. He said, what does legacy mean to you? He got me thinking about legacy, and that's how I ended up closing the book. Because Dwayne ended up helping me with the ending of my book, which was incredible. Between Bret doing the introduction and Dwayne doing the foreword, I can't think of two better people that are so, iconic in our industry. But I love Dwayne, and of course I love Bret. He's one of my and besides the fact that he's my uncle, he's one of my best friends. It's a story that I've never told before, and a lot of people when you kind of think you know me,
right.
and then you kind of realize that it's a little different.
There's so much more, yeah.
There's so much more,
Yeah.
and I felt like last June, when I was re-signing my latest contract with WWE, I was like, I really want to share my story. I think it's time. And so that's why I was like, I got to write this book.
Yeah.
I want the book to really inspire people and make people, it's entertaining.
It really is. I was laughing my ass off while crying.
Yeah, you were going to feel everything.
Yeah.
It's so good. But people that have read it, like I let my husband read it, and he said that he just didn't want it to end. Mm-hmm. So it's very powerful, but it's one of the things I'm most proud of in my career.
You could almost hear your voice reading it.
Yes.
But also you can learn so much about you, but you can also learn so much about the evolution of women's wrestling through that book.
Yes.
I feel like it was just so amazing for anyone. Yeah.
You're gonna get so much out of the book. It's just so special. Plus, there's 60 photos, and then we haven't revealed the hardcover yet. There is a big reveal because the hardcover is totally different than the cover. It's really special, and WWE helped me with that. So,
and I know that everyone will be like, I can't believe DS did not ask this. I was really scared to ever ask you about this, about a certain character, farting character, but you have a whole chapter about it.
I have a whole chapter, and it involves one of our head writers in WWE.
And so, you gotta read that book just for
that chapter.
Because there was so much juicy stuff that I had no idea.
Juicy.
It's a serious chapter too.
It's a serious chapter, but it is juicy. Tea is spilled.
So go check it out. When is the book coming out?
October 28th.
Got it. So go check out the book. What's the one last thing you want to tell the fans?
Thank you for being on this journey with me since the beginning. It never goes unnoticed with me, and I see everybody's beautiful comments, beautiful messages, and I always just feel the support. So you guys get it, and it means the world to me. So thank you.